Perfect. All right, guys. So today we're going to be comparing and contrasting two stories, The Goose and the Golden Egg. And the next story is The Gold-Giving Serpent. Anybody ever heard these stories before?
No.
No. All right, these are folklore stories. One comes from a fable by Aesop, right? If you've ever heard of that person. And the other one is an Indian fairy tale. Okay? So, first what we're going to do, though, is we're going to look over what we're going to compare and contrast. All right? Somebody raise their hand if they can tell me what compare means.
Oh,
Hey.
to find differences and see if there's anything like compare see this say you got two heavy items but you don't know which one. You're gonna compare it, which one's heavier, which one's lighter.
Okay.
If they're the same, then that means that there's contrast.
Okay, so you're kind of on to the right thing here, but if we're talking about comparing and contrasting, comparing means what, Jay?
Combining all the things together and making it into one thing.
Okay, so we are looking at both things and trying to figure out what works together. What does contrast mean? Maybe that'll help us out. What does contrast mean? Liam, what does it mean when we're contrasting something?
Actually, never heard that word.
You've never heard it before, okay. So, guys, when we're comparing and contrasting stuff,
Isaiah, pay attention and Ella, please.
I am.
we're making sure what things are similar. Jada, we're making sure what things are similar, right? That's comparing, right? Oh, this story has this in it, and this other story also has this in it. You're comparing so they both have the same things.
The contrast
means what?
They're different.
What's different about it? Very good. So, compare what's the same, all right? And then contrast what's what? If compare means what's the same, contrast means what's opposite or different, right? What's different? Very good. Now, in order to find those things more easily, as you read each story, you and your partner are going to find these key elements. Okay? Characters, setting, plot, and theme. Now, once you read one story, you and your partner are going to write down the elements that were in that story. Once you read the second story, you're going to do the same thing. And then once you have your lists, you can say, oh man, these characters were kind of the same. The plot was kind of the same. They seemed like they were in different places. So that's kind of contrasting. And then the themes might be different. But let's go over what those elements are first. Ella, what are characters in a story?
The persons that are in the story.
Yeah, the people that are in the story,
Or
right?
animals.
Or animals. Very good, like, Charlotte's
Objects.
Web. Right?
I've seen that book.
Very good.
I read that book
Objects.
and seen the movie and saw the show.
There's a movie too? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they all play.
Very good. So, people,
Green.
animals, sometimes objects, etc. Right? Those are the things that are in the story that are actually have action. They're doing something. All right. Very good. Now, Haley, what does setting mean? What's the setting of a story?
It means the background, or it's where the background is, and like say there's a barn in the back where the animals lay,
Okay.
and that's based on where the character's gonna be and talking.
Very
It's
good.
the same thing as theme, but much kind of different.
Yeah. So where the story takes place is what you're saying, right? Now, not just where, but Isaiah, what else? We're reading The Book Thief now, and when does it take place?
The
1900s, 1940s, right? Yeah. So not only is this setting where it takes place, but when. There you go. All right. So where and when the story takes place. Nice. Now, Jada, what's the plot of a story? The plot. Say I read the back of a book. What does it tell me usually?
Something that's going to be in the book.
It's like something's happening in the book. What happens in the book, right?
Yeah, it gives you an idea
Well, idea of the what?
of the book.
Right, but that idea of the book usually is a short summary of
What
the,
it's about.
and that is
The
what.
plot.
So what the what is about?
What's the plot about?
What the
Story.
there you go. All right. What was the story about, or what happened? Right. Now the last one's the toughest element to learn when you're
I'm not
reading a
gonna do
story,
that.
right?
Do the thing.
The theme. The theme. Hey, you four right there are doing a fantastic job following instructions. I don't know what's going on these desks.
Oh, it's just that
Oh, we need to put it up.
I'm very bored.
But Camilla, since you said you're so bored, let's go ahead and look at the theme here. All right, what is the theme of a story?
It's like the, I don't know.
It's the theme of a story.
The name?
So if I said, for the book thief, one of the themes of the story is sadness, or friendship, right?
It's like
What is that? What is that telling you? What the theme?
I know.
What a theme might be? I like.
Genre.
Sort of like the genre kind of does give hints as to
Oh,
what
like
themes
the
might
writing.
be.
The rated.
The way it's written.
The rated, like a rated R.
Oh, not quite. Not quite.
We all put 4 in.
Now,
You're not
pay attention.
nasty.
Pay attention.
Burden is farted.
No, I didn't. That
It's-
was him.
I'll wait.
That was him. You
Guys, pay
stink.
attention, please.
Smell
Okay, all this is pouring off, guys.
Mm-hmm.
No, Bruno.
Cameron.
Liam, you're doing a great job. Haley, nice work. Isaiah, good job being patient. Jada,
Jada, what?
all right, you guys are goofing, but nobody can tell me what the theme is.
I can. You're not calling on me.
Oh, we got raised hand.
I was.
Uh-huh. Jada, let's give it a try.
A theme is where, like, for instance, the subject, like, for instance, our book is sadness. That's a theme that's a part of the book that's related to sadness.
Okay.
Friendship, Liesel and Hans Huberman has a relationship, even though that's his foster that they have a relationship, and that just comes off based on the thing, based on the book, and based on how it's related.
Okay.
She said they got respect for each other.
Basically.
All right. And do you think maybe the author is writing that in that way to? Why do you think the author is writing that?
Because to make us confused, but also to understand it more, for us to be more interested into the book.
Okay, so maybe to teach you
What
a little bit about what
happened in the past.
maybe what happened in the past, but
or
like
happened
the importance of what did you just say? The importance of what?
of the theme.
Which was
Sadness.
maybe sadness, relationships, like you just said, right? So
downtimes.
themes are typically used to teach you or to focus on a certain part
Of the book.
of life or an aspect of, the story, right? And so the theme usually is what is it trying
Say.
to tell me or say?
You wrote T. T-E-X.
T-E-L-L.
It looks like an X.
It's an LL. So here are the things you're going to be looking for in your activity. Okay? Now, we may have some questions when we are filling these out, and feel free to raise your hand and ask. But like I said, when I hand you the packet here, the first person, I'm going to pick you guys who reads first. You'll read
Can we
this.
just do rock, paper, scissors, shoot?
No, we're gonna read first, and then you're going to fill out this section, and then after you're done, you're gonna read the second story, fill out the section again, and then guys, on the back, on the very back here, you're gonna have a Venn diagram, which is just those two circles that overlap. You're gonna put what's the same in the middle, and what's opposite on the top and bottom. Any questions about what we're doing?
No, sir.
No, ma'am. Oh, I mean, sir.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started.
No, ma'am.
Haley, you will be reading first in
We
this
already,
group.
we already agreed.
Camilla, you will be reading in this group first. Isaiah, you will be reading first. You want to read the first one? Alright. You can read the first one here.
Centipede.
Read to your partner. Then you two will fill out the section on the second page. And then once you're done, the other person switches roles. Alright, go ahead and get started.
A farmer owned the most wonderful goose you could imagine. Every day when the farmer visited the goose nest, he found that she had a glittering
Reading this first.
golden egg. The farmer took the egg to the bazaar and sold it. His wealth grew. Before too long, the farmer became annoyed with his goose. Why could she only lay one egg per day? He wanted to be richer.
Can I read it?
She's going right now.
And now the lesson.
So the students would,
One day, after the farmer finished,
they would read, fill out the information in the next sheet, then flip roles, fill out the information for the second story, and then on the back of the packet is a Venn diagram where they would compare and contrast. And then once it's all finished, we come back as a class to kind of check for understanding. They then turn it in, and any questions they have after that could be like an exit ticket.